I'm Caroline Miranda from CFLeads. Thank you for joining us today for this information session on a community of practice being offered by CFLeads and Welcoming America. We're going to start with just a few housekeeping slides. Rachel, if you don't, there we go. So as you just heard a moment ago, this webinar is being recorded, and you'll be able to access the webinar on our YouTube channel after this ends at cfleads.org. Because we have so many people on, which is great, we're going to ask you to stay muted unless you are speaking, and we will have lots of time for questions and answers. So please put your questions in the chat. It would be great if you could address them to everyone as opposed to just one individual person, so we can take a look at your questions and vet them. I'm just going to do some quick introductions. Again, I'm Caroline Miranda from CFLeads. I'm the Chief of Staff here. We have Daniel Valdez, the Chief External Affairs Officer from Welcoming America, who you'll hear from next, and he will introduce you to Nancy and Thanthan, who are joining us from Southwest Initiative Foundation. And then just a little bit about CFLeads. We have a lot of people on today who are actually not from community foundations. So just real quick, CFLeads is the country's national network of community foundations committed to community leadership. And for those of you who aren't a community foundation and not familiar, community foundations are grant-making public charities that are dedicated to improving the lives of people in a defined local geographic area. They bring together financial resources of individuals, families, and businesses to support effective nonprofits in their communities. And here at CFLeads, hundreds of community foundations from across the country come together to strengthen their community leadership muscle, share field innovations, and tackle key issues of our time. And at CFLeads, we believe community leadership happens when community foundations move beyond grant making and act as a valuable partner that drives positive change in the geographic areas that they serve. We believe that community foundations are community leaders when they pursue the community's greatest opportunities and address the most critical challenges, inclusively unite people, institutions, and resources from throughout the country, the community, and produce significant, widely shared, and lasting results. So next slides. Our mission is to help community foundations build strong communities by advancing effective practices, sharing knowledge, and galvanizing action on critical issues of our time. And just a word about the community of practice. As I hope you've seen, the application is on our website. If you don't have that, please feel free to go to our website, take a look at it. This is open to 15 community foundation staff in the US. We'll meet 3 times virtually this year, and the dates are there. And we'll also meet in person on April 10th at the Welcoming Interactive in Dallas, hosted by Welcoming America. The community of practice will, as I said, we will host 3 virtual meetings that will focus on what is welcoming and the role of community foundations, building a welcoming infrastructure, creating opportunities for individual activation, and sustaining momentum for welcoming work. And some of the tools and resources that we'll use as part of the community of practice is the framework for community leadership, the welcoming standard, and also the sustainable development goals. And here are the application dates. The applications are due January 19th. Again, the application's on our website. You can submit your application to me. You can feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. My email address is there. And then we will announce the selected community foundations by January 29th. Great. So now I'm going to turn things over to Daniel from Welcoming America. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you're calling from today. I'm Daniel Valdez. I'm the Chief External Affairs Officer at Welcoming America. I'm based in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. We have a little bit of some rain. So if you are in the path of this big storm that's hitting some of the eastern part of the country, I hope you're staying safe and warm. Excited to be here today. I just want to welcome everyone. For those of you who are not familiar with Welcoming America, we are a national nonprofit organization that works with local communities, particularly with nonprofit organizations and with municipal governments, in helping create programs, policies, and practices that create welcoming in those local communities, that create belonging. And we do this through a number of programs and initiatives. One of our biggest and sort of the core of our work is called the Welcoming Network. It's a network of over 300 organizations and municipal governments across the country, where we provide resources and technical assistance to our members and helping them navigate what we know is something that a lot of communities are really interested in really thinking about the ways that their communities can be more welcoming and inclusive to everyone, to newcomers in their communities, particularly immigrants and refugees. And we're really excited to be expanding that work and to really think about the ways that community foundations can play a role in local communities. As Carolyn mentioned at the beginning, that community foundations really are community partners. They can are entities that can bring multi-sector collaboratives together, and that when they're really thinking about beyond funding, that there's really an opportunity for community foundations to really lead and be a positive influence for the local work that's happening, and to be able to work through some of the challenges that we know communities, big and small, all over this country are facing when it comes to a number of topic areas and issues, and also help take advantage of the opportunities that these the communities have to create more lasting welcoming infrastructure and work. So we're really excited to be working with CFLeads. We've been working with them now for a couple of years. Last year, we put together a white paper on the role of community foundations in welcoming and belonging work, and have been working with a number of local community foundations as well in thinking about their roles in local communities. And we wanted to create this community of practice to really dive deeper into that work. And really frame this around some of the tools that we've developed, that CFLeads have developed, and that are out there as well, like the Sustainable Development Goals. So we're overall just excited to be able to offer this community of practice, to be able to engage more deeply with community foundations, and to have an opportunity to learn from one another. One of the biggest ways that we work with local members and local communities is through opportunities to learn from one another, to share with one another, and to be in these communities of practice. And so we're really excited that not only will be able to provide 15 community foundations with this community of practice, but also that all of these learnings will be shared out broadly, so that anyone who's interested in learning more about the role that local philanthropy and local community philanthropy in particular can play in welcoming work are able to take advantage of that. And then we'll be having everyone come join us at the Welcoming Interactive in Dallas. It's our annual conference. We're expecting close to 700 folks there from different sectors, from nonprofit organizations, cultural institutions, economic development agencies, and municipal governments, to, of course, community philanthropy. So we're excited to be able to host folks in April in Dallas, and looking forward to having this group come together. I am here also to introduce our speakers. As I mentioned, we do have some community foundations and community philanthropy groups in our network that have been really interested in thinking about how their own strategy and their own role in their communities can help advance immigrant inclusion work at the local level. And one of those amazing partners around that is the Southwest Initiative Foundation. And so today we have two speakers from the Southwest Initiative Foundation, and I'm just going to do a quick bio for them, and then I'll turn it over to them. Tantan is the community engagement specialist at the Southwest Initiative Foundation. He works to identify local strengths and challenges, build community-based skills, and serve as a liaison between the foundation and community leaders, as well as the nonprofit community. Tantan moved to Minnesota from a refugee camp in Thailand at the age of 11. And thanks to mentorship from his community leaders, he is passionate about supporting people and believing in their success stories. And he has a background in community organizing, corporate community engagement, student services, and community education. We will also be hearing from Nancy, who is the Vice President of Community Impact at the Southwest Initiative Foundation. And she leads the foundation's growing community impact team, including grants, programs, their community engagement programs, research, and learning around strategic initiatives and fund development for programmatic opportunities. Nancy has a passion for community and people, and is really interested in creating systems and opportunities where all residents can thrive and communities can meet their full potential for current and future generations. So she is off and on for rural places and loves the skills, experiences, and the heart that people bring to their community work each day. I'm really excited to hear from both of them to talk about sort of their journey around this work, and how this could be something that many of you are interested in thinking more deeply about as well, and what that's meant for them at the Southwest Initiative Foundation. And then there's going to be lots of opportunities to answer any questions specific to the community of practice, and answer sort of any logistical questions that folks may have around the application process as well. So with that, I'm going to send it over to Nancy first.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words and your very nice introduction, and kind words about our organization. I guess we provided the bio, so I really appreciate that, and I am glad to see so many familiar faces on the webinar today. It's certainly a community that we really are proud to be a part of. So I'm going to, I think we have a slide deck that will come up here. Okay, perfect. So the Southwest Initiative Foundation is, and you can go ahead to the next slide. There's some nice pictures of people in our region. So you can move one more ahead. Okay, so the Southwest Initiative Foundation is actually in Minnesota. So we started as the Southwest Minnesota Foundation, and now are the Southwest Initiative Foundation. But we're based in rural Minnesota, serving 18 counties and 2 Native nations. So we are a very rural part of Minnesota. Most of the communities in our region are less than 1,500 residents. So we have 4 communities that have populations of 10,000 people or more, but it's really those small towns that we work with. An interesting note is that of the 7.9 million acres that make up our region, 78% of that is tillable farmland. So that is how our economy typically works, is with the farming community and manufacturing, those kinds of industries. Our people are very unique, I think, as with all communities, and we have a strong history of innovation. We are known to have a strong sense of collaboration, and we value education, and we have a really strong work ethic. So when we think of the Southwest Initiative Foundation, we are really consider ourselves a rural development hub. With that, we think about region all the time. We're trusted in the region. We take the long view of approaches to really have that bird's eye view and perspective of different things happening around the world, the nation, and across our region and state. We bridge issues and we try to break down silos um, and take the systems level approach to create change in that way. So we know that collaboration is essential and that relationships really matter in that. So we tolerate some risk and we flex to innovate. But we are really feel like we're accountable to the whole community, and our vision is to create a region that thrives. Okay, so next slide. So Welcoming Week in Southwest Minnesota. This is an effort that we really started thinking about in 2020. We began our membership in Welcoming America and had a really 2020 was a really interesting time where we wanted to make that effort to bridge relationships across communities. So the first year was a pilot. It was August of 2020 or September of 2020, and we were really thinking of ways to get our community. How can we gather people in a safe way? So we decided to try a pilot in this. Many people weren't ready to re-engage, and so we had to think about the safe ways to engage people that were willing to mask up, and it really was a community effort in each of the communities that really helped to celebrate the benefits of including everyone, immigrants, refugees, and other people who have been systemically excluded, with people that have historically held a lot of power in the communities. So in our small rural places, those grassroots efforts of a one-day event really seem to resonate for people. And so they're manageable to organize and people can join in an easy way. So that's how our Welcoming Week efforts have really taken shape, is a one-day experience to bridge across community. So I'm going to introduce my colleague, Tantan Hua, who is our community engagement specialist who leads this effort. He's going to give you a sampling of what it's like across our small towns in the region and some of the work that took place in last year over these efforts. Tantan.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Can everybody hear me? Yes. My apology, my camera was not working from my computer, and my iPad is dying. So thank you everybody for your patience. And thank you so much for being here this afternoon and come together and focusing on welcoming and belonging work. The first community that we get to work with is Glencoe. There are 6 community stories that we're going to share with you this afternoon here. We are able to work with the small business owner from the cities, from Main Street, nonprofits, and other community leaders that really care about welcoming and belonging work in our region. So we are grateful that we have the opportunity to work with them. The first community is Glencoe. Their populations is 5,000, over 5,700. And they have hosted Welcoming Week since 2021. And this year, Glencoe hosted 3 Welcoming Week events. They hosted a community coffee, a piñata decorating party, and a digital story share. Glencoe also had a float in the GSL Homecoming Parade, which was during the Welcoming Week. And their mayor, Ryan Voss, issued a local Welcoming Week proclamations as requested by the community. And Maureen was Marie came from the community there as well, so she was able to attend that as well, and engage with the community. Marie, do you have any story you want to share from Glencoe?
I would just say that it was a slow process to get started, but in the past year when we started planning, folks were wondering if we would host something again. So it can feel slow to get started in your community, but it really did pick up momentum even just after a couple of years.
Right. And as my mentor, Brianna from Welcoming America has mentioned with me, the first year of Welcoming Week can be different from every community. It can, start with small and then grow from there. We have community that has a 2-digit number to, 4 or 5-digit number. So there, some community only have a few hundreds community members, but they were able to pull their surrounding area and come together and create that belonging space for everyone. Next slide, please. It would be the Granite Falls. Super excited that I was able to go back to Granite Falls and work with the restaurant owner, Jessica and Adam. They have um, they have been celebrating Welcoming Week with the community there since 2020. And their community population is 2,700 and over. They have collaborated with the another event in a town that is happening. It is called Squid Fest, at Music and Art Festival. So they were able to have that event together and really provide that space for our community. So their Welcoming Week in Granite Falls this year has become a cultural explorations of community using food, neighboring and playing a roadmap to growing authentic and lasting relationship. Participants this year got to taste snacks from 8 different culture represented in the community, as well as play games and created crafts. I was able to hang out with a few kids and adults over there and make dream catchers, which I learned many years ago, and just share that with the community there. And I had a lot of fun time just organizing with the community. I believe that when we are a partner, right, we're not just like supporting this and that, but at the same time, being in there, organizing with them, and just start, like being there from the beginning till the end of the event. And Jessica, the one from by the little girl with the pink shirt, she said that, how important it is that partner like us, Swift, being there the whole day and supporting throughout the event and how important it was for them. So that's something, to learn from. So next year, I hope I can do that much more and also encourage my team and colleagues to participate as well. Next slides, please. Kurt Cobain. This community has kind of lived far from me, but I was so excited to meet with them because I've heard great stories about them. It was an honor working with Anel. She's a teacher in the school district in Swift County, and her community is 814 people. And they have hosted a Welcoming Week since 2021 with her daughter. Her daughter was in the law school, so she was not able to continue that, but Anel took in the step and she continued to bring that Welcoming Week celebrations in her community. She's the one standing next to me, as you can see on the picture there. And she have experienced, um, um, prejudice and hate in her community. So that was something that, she was very passionate to continue making that happen. She was able to bring a lot of resources into the community. There was over 50 nonprofits, businesses, and organizations representing the surrounding Swift County area. And one of the most exciting things that we get to see the helicopter landing. Everybody was like screaming and we're trying to like get the kids out of the road. So we're like, no, don't try to go too close. So yeah, super excited for that. So community tends to celebrate Welcoming Week differently from each community. And that is Kirk Coleman. Next slide. Marshall. Um, their populations was over 13,000. I think it has been growing since a lot of refugees and immigrants are moving in this year. So I think it's around 40,000 now. And they have been hosting Welcoming Week since 2021. It is with the Community Educations and Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee who have partnered up with us. This year event, they celebrate at their Justice Park. They feature food, music, games, activities, and local organization and much more. All creating an environment where everybody can have that sense of belonging. Eddie is our main coordinator. She's not in the picture here, but um, we're very fortunate to partner up with organizations and really focusing on that diversity, equity, and inclusions for their community. And as you can see, with the kids playing with a police officer and volleyball and various diverse community members come together and just being in the space and listening to diverse music played by the DJ was one of the most exciting thing that I get to experience. Um, and you and I know that some community do not have a strong trust with their law enforcement, right? So this was a great opportunity for the officer and law enforcement people to engage and build that trust as well. Next slide. My apology, I was walking in the cold the other day, so my voice is kind of needed some tea right now. Wilmer community. Wilmer is one of the largest city in our region, and their population is over 21,000, and they have hosted Welcoming Week since 2020. Enjoyed face painting this year, henna art, kids-friendly crafts and games, community drum and circle that was demonstrated by our friend um, there, John, and food sample from different culture. Performances include Somali poetry, Korean dancing, material arts, Latin dance, and wind brass ensembles. Being in that environment, just seeing community from different culture interact and connect with one another was one of my highlight I see. And the community have had a great feedback. They also did a survey to get that feedback from the community, and they have had a great numbers of community response back to that, and they were very excited to have an event like this in the community where diversity is celebrated and where refugees and immigrants can have that sense of belonging and feel secure and safe. And in Wilmer, we get to partner with the Main Street coordinator, Riley Kennedy, and Pablo Obregon from the city of Wilmer, as well as other community leaders that Riley and Pablo invited, who's working with refugees and immigrants and local residents there. So it was great to have a great number of community leaders come together and really organize this celebration. Next slide, please. Worthington community. So during that time, I was living in Worthington still. So I get to connect with folks from the city, Savannah, and CCAC, Cross Cultural Advisory Committee. Cross Cultural Advisory Committee is they're really a bridge between the city and the community. It was launched a few years back, and their organization is made of a few community leaders who came from different backgrounds, who really represented the community of Worthington. And they come monthly to come discuss, what kind of community issues that they want to solve and work on, and how can the city and other organizations provide better services and making sure everybody in the community feels safe and welcome and healthy, right? So this year, one of the issues that has been going around was making sure people have the opportunities to get their driver license, right? Driver license for all. I think many of us hear about that this year. Yeah, so they were able to, the Cross-Cultural Advisory Committee was able to bring more than 150 attendees to the program, 2 local attorney and 3 local insurance agents were included on the panel to address questions that the community may have. They represented the Nobles County Licensing Center and Attorney Office, Minnesota Department of Public Safety, and Worthington Police Department. It was truly an honor to be able to work with this team and solving many barriers and challenges that the community are facing over there. And after that sessions where community get more information about driver license for all and how can they navigate through that and making sure they are able to drive and work and have a safe transportation with the community. So after that, we have a Korean dancing group performs and really share their art that represents unity. But yeah, all in all, we're honored and grateful to be able to having that partnership with our local coordinators and organizations and our Welcoming America partner and Southwest Minnesota Art Council a community member to make this 2023 Welcoming Week possible. And for 2024, we're looking forward to continue growing and building a sustainable team and continue to bring our people together and investing in their ideas and together build a vibrant community where everybody can continue to thrive and have that sense of belonging. So I hope you inspired by these stories and looking forward to create that sense of belonging within your kids, yourself, and your community. That's all. Any questions?
Great. Thank you so much, Nancy and Tantan. That was great. If people have questions, they can put them in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, come off mute and ask a question. We're happy to answer any questions about their work or about the community of practice application.
Oh, I believe Rural Welcoming Initiative is going to, application is open till today, right, Olivia?
The application for Rural Welcoming Initiative closes at midnight tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. So yeah, I encourage everybody, if you have community members or yourself, perhaps you can join that. It's great opportunity for you to connect with the other community foundations, other organizations that are represented throughout the country. So yeah, I encourage you to do that as well. I applied, so hopefully I get in again.
And for this community of practice, applications are due January 19th. And again, the application is on our website. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you might have. Just looking. Do we have a question? I saw someone come off mute. No? All right. Well, if we don't have any questions, I want to thank Welcoming America for their partnership. And thank you again to Nancy and Tantan for joining us. And thanks to all of you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. And again, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions about the application. We look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline.
Thanks.